Hi, this is Survivor and Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to show you a layout using these forms that I have painted and given it a makeover. Earlier I uploaded a video showing you how you can take the shape forms that you get from your kids and transform them into an embellishment that will go with any layout. By doing this technique, you can combine any color in order to match your layout. So that's why I kind of want to show you a layout that I use this, and I'm going to try to, every time I do a new technique, I'm going to show you how to apply that technique in a layout, just to give you a little bit of idea and also to show you how it's going to look. So here's the layout, and I'm going to be using this bingo card. And this layout doesn't have to do with January, so what I want to do is I'm going to put a little saying that I stamped and cut to size in order to fit it perfectly right on top of the January. And as you can see, it fits perfectly, and plus you're going to have a little black border on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and put it all together. Then here's that foam flower, and I'm going to go ahead and layer it with another foam flower, and look at that glitter. That's why I really like the technique that I discovered, because I really like painting it and glittering it. And then this one I did the same thing. I used the same foam flower, but I applied it on that crown, that chipboard crown. So I'm going to take all my pieces off and I'm going to start assembling my layout. At the end, I don't use that date tag. I forgot to put it included, so I just didn't use it. So I'm taking everything off. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is this paper is kind of flimsy. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and use a base cardstock and glue it to that base to give it more stability in order to support my big chipboard, which is that one, because that one's kind of heavy. So you really need to have some support for it not to buckle in your page. So one thing I do is I always cut my 12 by 12 to 11 and 1/4 on one side, just because if you use a lot of dimensional embellishments, it really kind of don't fit in your page if you don't give that extra room in order to fit flat. Then I'm using, for my distressing technique, I'm actually using white ink instead of black ink, and just for a little change. I'm always distressing with the vintage photo, and this time I wanted to use white just to change it up. Okay, and then because I did cut that extra 1/4 on one side or 1/8 on one side, I do have to cut the layers down to fit it. Then now I'm going to sew all my edges, and I'm using a hand sewing machine that I purchased at Walmart, and it's great for crafting. You don't have to bring your big sewing machine. The only issue that I have with this is that you really cannot sew right in the middle of the page. You only could sew like on the edges of your embellishments, which is fine, which is usually what I usually do. I just sew on the edges. And another thing is, you do not get a real straight line unless you really are good with it. So it always comes out wavy, so that's why I also like it. For scrapbooking, it's perfect, because usually I want a wavy line. So now I'm doing the same treatment. I'm putting some white ink around all my mats, and that first mat is 7.5 by 5.5. The other mat, the next mat, is actually 7 by 5. And that way, if I do have a 4 by 6 photo, it will fit perfect on these 2-layer mats. And since this is a single page layout, a single photo layout, that's why I did create the big mats, so that way it will occupy most of the page and your photo won't get lost. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some foam adhesive. Because I do have that chipboard, it does that photo mat is not going to lay flat, so you do need some foam adhesive in order to raise it to the same height as your chipboard. I forgot to put the bingo card, but before the glue really hardens, you can easily just lift up your mat and put it down like I did there. Now I'm trying to figure out what's the best position for all my embellishments. And as you can see here, I'm making clusters, and my clusters are, I try to keep even numbers. And I have clusters, I'm using a triangle rule, so I got stuff on the top and on the bottom on each corner. So here I'm almost done with my layout. So I'm really done with my layout here, and as you can see, I have, it's gonna need a title, so I'll probably put a title on the top once I get the pictures to go with this layout. And that's one thing, I try to create my layouts generic, so that way I can, whatever pictures, it will go with anything. So there's my foam with my flower. There's another foam there, and I also put some felt hearts, and there's another foam there. And as you can see, I have a triangle, so I have stuff on the top, the lower, bottom to half. So I hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Bye.